Welcome to the Hustle Wing podcast. Today we are joined by Sunny Liang, the CEO and co-founder of Zen Sleep. He's going to chat to us today about his company. We're going to get to know him a bit and just have a good time. So thank you so much for joining us, Sunny. How are you doing?
Doing well, Izzy. Thanks for having me on. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. And yeah, thanks for joining us. So tell me, what do you guys do at Zen Sleep?
Sure. Yeah. If I were to summarize Zen Sleep in a quick one or two liner, we are a sleep coaching and data analytics platform.
Hmm.
And we basically help coach people to sleep better, improve their health. And then we also have a B2B side of the business where we help organizations like hospitals, sleep physicians, sports teams, or employers better understand the data and analytics of their constituent sleep, which ultimately leads to better productivity and more cost savings. So we're integrated with all of the wearables, and we're in a couple right now, and we take the data, we analyze it, but most importantly, I would say we use what we call cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, or CBTI, which is the most
Okay.
clinically proven sleep coaching solution for people with insomnia like me, to really
Okay.
improve their sleep health. So that's kind of what we do as a company in a quick nutshell.
Okay, cool. Okay. So talk to me. What is this method that you guys use?
Sure. Yeah. So it's called CBTI, or cognitive behavioral therapy. And
CBT.
it's been scientifically proven to be the best non-invasive solution. And a little bit about my history is, I'm a lifelong insomniac. I used to work on Wall Street where I didn't sleep much.
Gosh.
And then I finally went to see a sleep doctor here in the US. I was in New York City at the time. And that was when he
Uh-huh.
introduced me to CBTI. And he's like, hey, basically, just don't take sleeping pills. These things are terrible. They shut your brain off, and long-term sleeping pill addiction is a big issue. And my late grandmother was actually on
Really?
sleeping pills for the last 25 years or so of her life. So,
Oh
it's
gosh.
it's a really tough thing that really doesn't get enough spotlight. So we're trying to help
Yeah.
people stay away from these pills, do something that's natural and non-invasive. And really, CBT at the core is just a way of coaching people to understand their sleep, right? So, I drink caffeine, for example. I used to
Yeah.
drink caffeine late into the afternoon. And then I realized that, hey, I need to cut it off at least 7 hours before bedtime, right? And it's different for everybody.
7 hours?
Yeah, 7 hours. Yeah, you should definitely cut off caffeine 7 hours before bedtime. If you're an insomniac like myself, some people are
Okay.
okay. I have friends who drink an espresso after dinner and they go to sleep. I'm definitely not one of those.
You're fine.
Um, yeah, and we're trying to help coach people is like, hey, if you're drinking that espresso, you're not sleeping. That
Yeah.
might be the issue, right? So what you don't want to do is drink that espresso and then take more pills, right? So,
Yeah.
and similarly, things like alcohol, for example, which can help you fall asleep quicker, but you actually have much worse sleep because your body hasn't processed all that alcohol, right? So, it's stuff like that which we coach people to understand about their habits, their lifestyles,
Yeah.
and really what we call sleep hygiene, right? You have dental hygiene, you have to brush your teeth every day. There's also
Yeah.
sleep hygiene, which you have to do the right things to get yourself to be in the best position to get good sleep and recovery every night. So that's really the
Yeah.
core, Izzy. And then our solution at the core is an app on your phone.
Hmm.
It basically we put you through a questionnaire that was developed by my co-founder, who's a board certified sleep physician here in the U.S. and basically mimics what
Okay.
he would ask, and we take that input, use our algorithms, and we come up with daily routines. So you have like 6 to 8 different things from morning to night every day. We send you
Hmm.
reminders, we keep track of these things, and then you'll have the data with that and your wearables to show you, hey, you're building these better habits and you're improving your sleep. All right, what else do we need to
Yeah.
work on? What's working? What's not working? And then
Yeah.
we kind of go from there to help coach people to sleep better for the long run.
That's so cool. Okay. You've already dropped like three nuggets of information that I'm like, I did not know that. So that's
We'll
really
learn more on the
interesting.
app too.
Now I know. Okay, cool. So then do you guys just track sleep or do you track like sleeping patterns, like snoring or, what is it that what's the full package?
Sure, yeah, it's a great question. So we're linked with the Whoops or Apple Watches and most of the wearables. So these things are great
Mhm.
and they're only getting better, right? So we don't do the
Yeah.
hardware. We've got some great partnerships and APIs we can tap into. So at the core, we track sleep, a total amount, and your REM, light, deep sleep. We
Yeah.
also track like efficiency, how long are you awake? We can do
Mm.
movement in bed. We can do HRV, heart rate,
Oh,
breathing, oxygen levels, and
cool.
all these things. All that can be very helpful, right? So, one of our
Yeah.
clients that we just signed up right now is a major collegiate sports team here in the U.S. and
Yeah.
working with their swimmers, and they have a lot of things that they track during the exercises, but they don't have a lot that tracks in the recovery process, right? So what
Yeah.
we're showing their coaches and their trainers right now is like, how are your athletes sleeping? Are they getting enough sleep? Are they getting enough recovery? And you can also track, the things I mentioned earlier. How's their breathing? How's their heart rate? Because
Yeah.
if you come down with COVID or something, those are the first signs that are going to be off, right? So it's very
Yeah.
helpful for high performance people or even people in the medical space, right? That if you're
Yeah.
treating someone with chronic insomnia who also has heart disease, you can start to see these patterns that could really help with their diagnoses and their treatment. So that's kind of
Yeah.
what we link into. There's only going to be more data in the future, Izzy. So we want to focus on the sleep and the recovery for now, but there
Yeah.
are a lot more opportunities and possibilities that are opening up for us as well.
Yeah. That's so cool. I mean, I remember I remember when I was growing up, I used to hate going to sleep, right? So my mom like told me this whole spiel that like um it's the time that the body uses to repair itself. And she was like, you know how, because I used to love like taking things apart and putting them together. So she was like, you know how you like to repair things? That's your body repairing itself. So, so it's really interesting to hear you like tie it into like the medical side as well. Like it's
Yeah,
so important for you to have good quality sleep. And I feel like a lot of people aren't getting a lot of sleep these days. I mean, there's so much going on. We've got these phones, all these devices, all these bright lights. We're working from home with, all the stuff going on. It's really hard to sort of like get into the zone and just like
right.
get into it. So it's nice
Y-
that you get to track that and like you can follow it and understand what your habits
Yeah,
should be to get like a
yeah.
proper night's sleep. I love that.
Yeah,
And I
your mom's
might get
totally
in
right,
just for
by
the
the way.
snoring.
Yeah, your mom's totally right. Your body, deep sleep is when your body recovers your muscles and bones. REM
Yeah.
sleep, which is rapid eye movement sleep, is when you're dreaming. Your brain, it's a necessary function for your brain to recover and develop. So
Yeah.
it's all scientific. She's totally right, and you know, even for the non-athlete or like the person who isn't suffering from heart disease or lung disease or chronic insomnia,
Yeah.
is sleep so important, right? We were supposed to spend a third of our lives doing it, even for a healthy person. And you can be
Yeah.
perfectly healthy right now and not get enough sleep, and then 30 years later, that becomes the root cause of some disease that happens later on, right? So you can look
Yeah.
at a
It's
bunch
crazy.
of medical studies that show the importance of sleep, right? Long-term sleep deprivation, long-term poor sleep, whether it's through insomnia or apnea, or other sleep conditions, can lead to serious issues. So this is
Yeah.
something that, as preventative medicine becomes more prevalent, more important, we need to shift
Yeah.
our focus, right? I may be healthy, great, right now, right? Doesn't mean I can, drink 5 beers before bed and eat
Yeah.
fried chicken and burgers every day and sleep 3 hours, right? That's
Yeah.
something's going to go wrong eventually, right? So I'm glad the narrative's changed, and it really, going back to your point, it really is the time that our body recovers, and we don't have enough time for our body to recover. It can be very detrimental down the road.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I guess we're moving away from the whole like you must sleep 4 hours a day. Remember, I think it was Steve Harvey who said you only have to sleep 4 hours a day. I was like, are you crazy?
No, I mean There's actually a small group of the population that can get around with 4 to 6 hours. It's a very small
Yeah,
group, genetically tuned. If we crack that code eventually, maybe we can genetically modify ourselves. But for the most part, it's 7 to 9 hours for most people. Izzy,
yeah,
you talk to a good physician, they'll say, hey, like find your balance, right? Not everyone needs a nine, right? For
yeah.
me, myself, I'm about a 7 to 7.5 hour person. If I get
Okay.
7.5 good hours, then I'm in great shape.
Yeah,
And yeah, it's sort of finding your balance, knowing what you have to do in order to set yourself up for the best day ahead.
yeah. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for sharing. You sort of touched on your story as to why you created Zen Sleep and the need for it and the personal side of it for you as well. Thank you for sharing that. But what's the long term goal for Zen Sleep? What do you feel like is are you going to focus on the B2B side, or where do you see this going? Where do you want it to go?
Yeah, great point, Izzy. Yeah, so definitely, we launched about a little over a year ago. Our growth so far has mostly been organic, kind of D2C,
Okay.
B2B2C, if you will. And anyone can, shout out, to our own website, zensleep.ai. You can check it out. You can download the app on the app stores for both Google and Android. So we're
Hmm.
definitely going to keep the D2C open. We don't plan on doing any big marketing spends or whatnot. But
Okay.
our focus going forward, I'm glad you mentioned it, is really the B2B side. And at the start of the year, we launched a enterprise grade dashboard. And this
Okay.
dashboard, we're working with sleep physicians right now because they can just go on their computer and log in and see all their patients, wearables data, all their routine data that we talked about earlier. And this is
Yeah.
huge because when I went through CBTI, the doctors would ask me every month or two after I go back to their office, hey, did you do all those sleep hygiene things I
What's
told
going
you to
on?
do? Probably not. And then two, how did you actually sleep, right? And at that
Yeah.
point, this was about 6 years ago, we didn't have as many wearables as we do now. So
Yeah.
this is really godsend in a lot of ways, is that the doctors can actually see if their patients are getting better, right? So this is really going
Yeah.
to help with their treatment process, going to help with their data tracking, and they can start to
Yeah.
see, hey, because you drank alcohol that night, your sleep actually decreased by 25%. Oh,
Yeah.
the days where you were exercising and you were going to bed on time, you actually had 30% more sleep. Right? So stuff like that,
Yeah.
that really helps the doctors, really helps the process, which has always been missing, in our opinion, in that kind of solution. So we're excited about that. And then, with employers, right, like we've seen the growth of mental health through employers last couple of
Yeah.
years. We still are very bullish in that. So we think employers are going to focus more on that. And then when it comes to like insurance or medical systems, even we're actually trying to create a sort of rewards platform, right? So, let's
Okay.
say if you're an insured person and you're showing that, hey, I'm averaging 7 to 8 hours of sleep, I can get
Hmm.
rewarded a little bit, a couple of dollars a month, or lower my
Yeah.
premium. And then I'm ultimately saving my insurance company a lot of money because the better I sleep, the less I get sick, the less they have to pay for my medical expenses, right? It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
It's not rocket
Yeah.
science, but obviously it takes a while to kind of get that message across and get that
Yeah.
platform set. But yeah, we have all the tools. The app's in great shape. The dashboard's in great shape. So
Yeah.
I'm just focusing on talking to as many people right now who are interested, and hopefully bring a couple folks on board.
That's so cool. I would love to be rewarded to sleep. Like, you wouldn't be able to get me to stop. Like,
Isn't that cool?
I'll be like, I'm averaging 15 hours.
Yeah, we got to cap it. 7 to 9. Anything beyond 9, you start losing. You start losing
To
money.
what? I'd go overboard. I'm not gonna lie. It's like my favorite activity, sleeping. Come on.
Yeah, the best.
Okay, awesome. Well, that sounds like you've got a lot of exciting things lined up. I mean, definitely tapping into the B2B space could open a plethora of opportunities for you. So that's really exciting to see how that goes. And I love how, like you said, you explained that, like the doctors can actually track whether, the stuff they're diagnosing is working, whether the patients are actually doing what they're saying. Like, I know a lot of the time I'll go to the doctor after 2 weeks for a checkup and they'll be like, did you do that? And I'm like, yeah.
It's something.
I
That's exactly
did.
it.
So it's nice for them to actually know. That's so cool. I love that. Makes them a lot makes their job a lot easier. So that's amazing. So lastly, before lastly, what sort of challenges are you guys facing at Zen Sleep at the moment?
Yeah, see, look, I think we're still in a bit of a tough global macro market right now. Spending
Hmm.
definitely isn't as prevalent as it was 2 years ago. And look, I think
Yeah.
things go up and down, and I think we're at the right place at the right time. Mental health has really opened up a lot of great doors the last 5 or 6 years or so, and I
Yeah.
really think sleep is the next phase. So I think we're positioning ourselves to be that kind of leader, and really the differentiated solution, right? A lot of meditation apps, a lot of sleep trackers, but not a lot
Mm,
of sort of hands-on, scientifically proven solutions like us. So that's where we're
yeah.
excited. I think the headwinds are always going to be there. I think employers are going to turn the corner this year. We got some great conversations going on with big banks and big companies, Fortune 500 companies. And I
Yeah.
think, when it comes to the medical side, we've gotten some great feedback from the physicians that we talked about earlier. So I think that's going to be a
Yeah.
field, a really kind of an anchor, resilient field that we're going to keep tapping into. And then, yeah, I think the sports teams always have money, and it's really fascinating getting their feedback right now. So we definitely want to land a couple more of those. And then, yeah,
Yeah.
I think as we grow larger, we'll have more conversations with the insurance, the medical side, and that we're super
Yeah.
excited to get, tap into that field as well. So yeah, a lot of great things going on. I think, headwinds will come and go, and it's time to just keep our head down and keep doing what we're doing.
Definitely, definitely keep pushing. Awesome. So then finally, what sort of help would you like from our community of side hustlers?
Yeah, I'd love to connect. We're always looking to bring on smart, talented, hardworking people. I think right now, you've got some great engineers, but it never hurts to have another technical person
Yeah,
help us out. So we've got some cool things, cool ideas we're working on right now. So if someone is a developer with good kind of mobile as well as desktop experience, full stack ideally, we always love to talk. And then, yeah, the other part is sort of the kind of sales, go to market side and partnership
yeah,
side. If someone is interested or has experience, working with the medical field or employer field or athletic field, has a good
yeah,
network, love to chat. And yeah, we're kind of driving sales ourselves right now. So if someone's willing to hustle, kind of do a lot of outbound stuff.
yeah.
We would love to chat. So I think those are probably the two fields that we're looking to work with right now.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So you mentioned that you've been up and running for about a year now, right?
Yeah, actually, a little over 2 years is yeah. We spent the first kind of
Okay.
year and a half doing mostly R&D, and then we launched
Yeah.
end of 22, start of 23. So we've been live for just over a year.
Nice, nice. Okay, cool. Then yeah, I was going to touch on the fact that with the whole growth thing, I'm sure that you've kind of thought about it. But have you got like bookkeepers, or would you be interested in people that would be assisting in the finance side, maybe looking at projections or things like that? Are you okay with that? Are you open to that?
Yeah, I think we're always open to considering. I come from a finance,
Okay.
I would say bookkeeping, but modeling background. So,
Yeah.
I've sort of been doing that, on my own. And we're probably okay for the time being for that. I think our
Okay.
help, like you said, like we said earlier, is really on the sales and kind of R&D side. So I'd focus on that for now. But down the road, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. As we get bigger, I won't be able to do all that by myself anymore. And at that point, I'll bring on some folks in that space.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, Sunny. Thank you for joining us and sharing Zen Sleep with me and the community. I love what you guys are doing, and I honestly had never thought of like the impact that sleep could have on someone. I think it's just because it's a struggle I've never had to, burden on myself. So, well, never had on myself. So I've never really thought about like, let me track my sleep. But now that I know I can, I'm definitely gonna download the app and track it, and I'll see if I'm actually sleeping well because I am exhausted. So it'd be nice to know if I'm doing something wrong.
Totally,
But
totally.
thank you again for your time, and I wish you all the best in the future. I can't wait to see what the future has in store for you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Izzy. Really appreciate this.
Thanks.